What's going on, people, and welcome back to another episode of the 5 Takeaways, where we take a look at yesterday's game and we take the 5 things that we can take away from the game. And look, this time it's resoundingly positive for once.
Yeah, for once. It's been a pretty depressing past few days, but look, at least something positive has come out of it. We got 3 points. Mason's in charge now. There's a bit of a feel-good factor trying to seep into the team and to the fans. And look, I'm happy we got the win. I thought it was a good performance. I think we did some really good stuff. And yeah, look, I'm happy.
So takeaway 1, we're out the Super League. Takeaway 2, Enoch out. Takeaway 3, need fans on the board. No, I'm kidding. Let's get into the takeaways from the game yesterday. And that first takeaway was first time for everything.
Yeah, so for at the 7th attempt of asking yesterday, Tottenham came from behind at half-time to win a game of football, having previously lost all other 6 attempts this season. So in Mason's first game, he did something that hasn't been done yet this season at all from a Tottenham point of view, and something that Arteta hasn't done in 16 months. So fair play to Ryan Mason. He got his team talk spot on, he got his tactics in the second half spot on, and it got us the win in the second half.
Brilliant. Ryan Mason's Blue Army.
Exactly.
It was great to see him in the hot seat, to be fair. It really was. Like I keep saying in every video, it's just a brilliant story, you know, coming through the academy, that horror injury he had, all the way to now managing Spurs. Absolutely brilliant story. But let's get into the second takeaway, and that second takeaway is that Bale Bounce.
Yeah, so Gareth Bale back in the team, back amongst the goals as well yesterday. That was his 12th goal contribution in his last 9 starts for Tottenham. So it really shows that since he's been starting recently of late, he's really been contributing with goals and assists. That's his 6th Premier League goal as well of the season. And it's good to have him involved again after being out in the cold after that poor performance in the North London derby. We're wondering why he hasn't been trusted ever since that game, and now those questions still haven't been answered, but at least he's great to have him back in the side, and he really is contributing.
Yeah, those questions haven't been answered, but I always said it was harsh on Jose, the way he was treating Bell, and that's what it seems to be, because I said, especially when he didn't play against Newcastle, I was like, why is he not playing? Because that Newcastle game, if he would have played, it would have given us a big opportunity to win that game with his quality that he shows on the pitch. And look, I didn't watch the game yesterday, but from what I'm hearing, Bale played very well, and the goal he scored was an absolutely fantastic finish.
Great finish.
Great technique that we all know that Bale has. So let's move on to the third takeaway, and that third takeaway is Sonny Delight.
It was nice to see Son smiling again yesterday, that's for sure. It's been a while since that, after that post-match interview he did against Everton, where he looked like he was ready to give up on everything. He was so depressed. But he scores on the score sheet against Southampton yesterday, and that is his 15th Premier League goal of the season, which is now officially his best ever return in a Premier League campaign.
Well, to be fair, we thought he was going to hit it a long time
ago. But he has hit it now. He's hit it, 15th goal of the season. Hopefully he can have a good end to the season, maybe hit 20, you never know. And that's also 24 goals and assists now for Sonny this season. So he really has having a strong season, and he looked sharp again yesterday, so I'm really happy for him.
All right, and that fourth takeaway we're going to look into is finally, aggressive Spurs.
Yeah, so Tottenham had a lot more aggression and energy about them yesterday, and were pushing a lot further up the pitch. And I think it shows when you look at the stats and when you break down the tackles. Tottenham had their third lowest tackles in their own defensive third of the season yesterday. So didn't make a lot of tackles in their own defensive third. But when it comes to midfield and attack, we had our second highest and our fourth highest of the season when it comes to tackles in the midfield third and the attacking third. So we really are pressing a lot higher up on the pitch, making tackles higher up the pitch, and that forced Southampton into a corner, and that's why we pushed them back in the second half. So it was very good to see, and the stats bear that out.
All right, and the last and final takeaway, number 5, is hanging by a thread. I mean, as each game goes on, each loss, each win, it's like toing and froing. We'd be like, oh, Champions League is dead. And then the next game, oh, if we win this, Champions League's dead again. And now
But
we're
that's the
back
nature
to
of the
hanging
season.
by a thread.
That's the nature of the season. Look, as much as we've been poor, you've got to say a lot of the teams around us have been equally as poor. So that's just the nature of what we've been, what we're up against. And Tottenham now 2 points away from fourth place Chelsea, with and fifth place West Ham, who are level on points. But they both have a game in hand over Spurs. However, they do play each other this weekend, which is their game in hand. So it really just going to give us is giving us an opportunity to, we're guaranteed to at least take points out of one of them. And so it does kind of put us back in the race now, given the fixtures as well. Chelsea have to play a lot of difficult fixtures they've got left from now to the end of the season.
They've got to play Leicester as well, Chelsea.
With West Ham being inexperienced in this kind of position. So, and obviously Liverpool also having difficult times. So it really has put us kind of back in the conversation with that win, with our last remaining 5 games against Sheffield United, Leeds, Wolves, Villa and Leicester. All teams, apart from Leicester, all teams kind of with nothing really to play for from now to the end of the season. So if we really can have a good end to the season and make sure we're fighting for every single point, maybe, just maybe, we can have a last gasp attempt at top 4.
How many games left?
5 for us.
5. So you think if we win our next 4 games, how likely it is, do you reckon, we have a chance, or we're going to get it?
If we win our next 4 games, considering we're now 3 points, we're 3 points above Leicester, but Leicester have 2 games in hand. One of them is
3 points above Leicester.
behind Leicester. Leicester have 2 games in hand.
Leicester playing West Brom tonight, which is a difficult
exactly.
game.
One of their games is West Brom tonight. Leicester's last 3 games are Chelsea, Tottenham and Man United, I think. I think it's Chelsea, Tottenham and Man United, with Spurs being the last one. If we are still in there going into that Leicester game last day of the season, then there's every opportunity. If we win our next 4 games, we will be there. So, because I don't think Leicester are going to win every game from now to the end of the season. So,
and everyone in amongst it. I mean, the only team that might have a more favourable fixture list is Liverpool.
Yeah,
I mean,
Liverpool
their fixtures look really...
Yeah, but I think Leicester are kind of being dragged into it now as well. So I do think there are 2 spots open. So I think Leicester's last 4 games, the last 3 games, Man United away, Chelsea away, and Spurs at home, and their games leading up to that, West Brom, Palace, Southampton, and Newcastle. So I'm sure they're going to get a few wins, but they're not going to win all those games. So if we can
West
hang
Brom
in there,
and Newcastle won it are big games because of the way they're going this season.
So if we can be within touching distance of them going into the last game of the season, and if they're still in the top 4, then you never know what can happen, and we can still be in there. So we got to keep fighting for every point. We got to keep putting pressure on the teams above us, and I think especially if we do win on Sunday in the cup final, then the momentum hopefully will drag us forward. So all is not lost just yet.
All right, so there you have it. Those are our 5 takeaways. Finally, some positivity coming into the club now. Ryan Mason taking us forward for the rest of the season. Spurs 2, Southampton 1. Those are your 5 takeaways. Let me know if you have any other takeaways in the comment section below. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.